Hi Cancer, welcome to your general tarot tune-in. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. This is Tarot with Netta. This reading is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node in the sign of Cancer. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If the reading doesn't resonate with you, check out your other placements. And if it does, just leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Cross watchers are welcome. Okay, my dear Cancer babies, let's see what's going on for you at this time of you coming across this video and your reading. Okay, so my dear Cancer, I'm just going to pull one card from the Starseed Oracle to open and ground your reading. So we have Star Bathing, Light Body, Crystal Grid, Transmission, Activation. You could be feeling very nocturnal lately, maybe staying up late, watching the sky, following the moon patterns, spending time outdoors during the nighttime. You might have been thinking about like getting a telescope and, you know, following, yeah, the constellations, the cycles of the moon. Yeah, like a very astronomical spiritual practice that you're trying to develop in regards to, yeah, the stars, the nighttime, something that's a little bit different that you're trying to add into your spiritual toolbox. Yeah, I feel like you're on a very, wow, yeah, very spiritual quest at this time. Oh my goodness, Cancer, you have all but one major arcana cards in the tarot spread. So let's start with your challenge position, then we'll go with what's coming towards you, followed by the advice. So Two of Swords is the only minor arcana card, and it's the first card of your spread in the challenge position. You could be somewhat closed off to some type of like spiritual knowledge or growth. It could be hard for you to embody like light codes or some type of evolution in regards to your spiritual development. So yeah, with the Hierophant and the Hanged Man, these are like very occult type energies. The Hierophant can signify higher education or higher divine union, such as marriage, but almost like things that belong in the occult, things that are secret and somehow earned. You could be contemplating joining some type of like secret society or researching those types of things. Yeah, this is like, I'm getting that you're very much in a process of, yeah, spiritual upgrades and spiritual evolution. The Hanged Man here is requiring you to flip your worldview, take a different perspective on a situation. So you could be, yeah, you could be like going through some type of like training. So for example, like a yoga teacher training or a Reiki training, learning how like an occult type system works, almost like an engineer, or like figuring out the blueprint of the way things function in this practice. So yeah, again, if you're taking like a yoga teacher training, you might be really into anatomy, very practical, but you're on a spiritual quest, so you're being called to receive downloads, but that's not going to come from that like practical, logical part of the experience. yeah, you're on the path of gaining spiritual wisdom through these like activations, which only come through the experience of the activation. It's not something you're going to learn in a book, which you might be very intellectual, very academic. But yeah, you might have Sagittarius in your chart, or yeah, a lot of placements or houses in Jupiter. So you're, yeah, in your life at this point is very focused on your dharma work, your soul's purpose work, and you're essentially laying the groundwork and the foundation of the higher knowledge. But in order to gain that balance of the practical and the spiritual or receptive, you're going to have to release some type of control, which you might be a little bit fearful of doing. And yeah, this Hanged Man Pisces energy, another water sign showing some form of like release or surrender. Yeah, I feel like you're very in tuned, but you like to show your knowledge through academic work or those types of explanations. You might be stuck in a masculine energy of like mansplaining things. But in order to gain that balance between the yin and the yang, the feminine and the masculine, you're being called to surrender and receive something. So that's why you might be like drawn to that nocturnal energy, that night energy, because it's the only other thing that really makes sense to you. Okay, yeah, let's look at the rest of your spread. All major arcanas but one, besides the Two of Swords. And this is, again, opening your reading. So there's some resistance in regards to your fate. Essentially, major arcanas are, cards signifying things that are our destiny and fate, things that are out of our control. What's coming towards you? You have the Sun, the Hermit, and the Empress. Very, very powerful energy. So we've got Leo, Virgo, and Taurus. You might be dealing with those energies or have those placements in your chart. So pay attention. Going from the Sun to the Hermit, these are, again, opposite energies. The Sun is also a card of surrender, so it's a really nice transition from the Hanged Man, where you're showing strength and power through surrendering. So if we look here, the Lion surrenders to the female figure gently prying its teeth open. There's a lot of trust that needs to happen. Once that starts happening, you are able to dive deep, like go deep into that subconscious, things that are hidden. And with the Empress here, yeah, I feel like you are going to receive the blessings that you are seeking out through that spiritual awakening, where you're able to transition from like the book to the embodiment. The embodiment only comes through the experience. And yeah, you're being called to surrender now, Cancer. Yeah, this is a very, very powerful reading. What's coming towards you? Yeah, be mindful of like fear there. Yeah, that you have a lot of fear in surrendering to something. It could be your ego, it could be some type of shame or guilt that you have in regards to up leveling. It could be like past life trauma that you've carried into this life. Look into your North Node and South Node signs, because that can signify any karma that you've brought from your past life. The South Node to like lessons and things that you need to embody in this lifetime through the North Node. Through the Devil and the Moon here, yeah, this is a lot of fear, a lot of attachment. You could be being called to release a lot of your attachments to the material world. And there's that fear of like, well, what's gonna happen? Like what's going to happen if I don't like get the certificate or graduate, or, you know, there's that attachment to the practical knowledge to show others that you are capable, which is, yeah, there's a fine balance between proving to others and then experiencing yourself what your dharma work is, you know. And I think if you look at the bigger picture, again, all these major arcana cards, the cycle, yeah, the cycle here with the moon, this is a big cycle in your life. It may take years to close out or to learn, where you can finally be more objective about this experience. Yeah, unlearning a lot of things like that are a result of like the industrial complex, capitalism, the way that education is valued, all of those things, you know, we're going into age of Aquarius. Those things are starting to dismantle and change. And I feel like you're on the cusp of that. Yeah, star bathing. You're going to come across like a lot of new knowledge and information that's going to empower you, but it's going to feel, you know, and I hate to say this, but it's going to feel silly to you at the beginning, because it's not going to make sense. You're not going to be able to place it in a box. You might not even have words for it. So be gentle with yourself at this time, you know, as you're receiving these like light codes and activations. Be gentle with your body. Make sure that your body is nourished properly in order to receive these upgrades. So let's close off your reading with one card from the yogic path, Manipura. Okay, so let's, Manipura is a chakra, solar plexus, I believe, but let me, read the description from the book. Yeah, Manipura, solar plexus chakra. You have come to a place where you know exactly who you are. Gone are the days of confusion and blurred lines between your truth and the expectations of others. You have grounded into your essence and built the foundation of your empowered self. You have had to let go of many friendships and relationships that were no longer serving you to get to where you are, and it was all worth it. Now is your time to really go after what you want in life. What do you care about? What lights you up? How do you want to serve? Meditate on these questions and take action on what comes up. So, yeah, there's a lot of release happening, but at the same time, you're being empowered in this surrender and release. And there's also a sense of confidence. You know, there could be fear, but you're beginning to notice that each time you release and let go, that you are gaining momentum and confidence in that surrender. So yeah, just be gentle with yourself. Any type of like solar plexus, Manipura, exercises, you know, ab work, Pilates, anything like breath work, breath of fire, anything where you're activating the lower three chakras in order to raise that energy, that Kundalini energy from the lower three chakras to the heart and then the upper three chakras. That will be very beneficial for you at this time as well. So yeah, this is an exciting time for you, my dear Cancer. I hope this reading helped. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.